Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life and welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches 6. We are on to day number 8. Happy Friday. We are going to be working with, when I say we, I obviously mean me, but the Simple Stories I Am 2 collection. This is so gorgeous. I got the paper pack collection from Scrapbook Your Joy. I believe that's where I received that from. Yeah, that or Scrapbooking Nerd. It's one or the other. I'm so sorry. That was not a good intro to this video. They are, I ordered from both of them and then I put everything away and I didn't keep things separated. And there's a few things off the top of my head I know for sure are from one company versus the other. And then some of them kind of got mixed between, but that's okay. This voiceover in this video is going to be a little bit more of the behind the scenes of some of the little things I do that I don't always share in process videos because this is a pretty basic sketch. 2 photos, a couple layers, and that's really it. There's not a whole ton to it, and I do kind of keep it in that format. However, working with this particular collection pack, I wanted to use this phone that says, "You've got this, girl." And what this layout is about is I chopped all my hair off, and I had my hair long for since before Barrett was born, I believe. Maybe I chopped it off. No, I'm pretty sure I had my hair long when Barrett was born. So it had been quite a while. And I finally, during the midst of the pandemic, I had wanted to do something to make myself just feel good about myself because, of course, when it was in the height of it and it was like, April and just, there's so much going on, I wasn't feeling very good about myself. And then we had to figure out how to move. And there was so much stuff that went on top of each other that I was just like, ugh. So finally we settled in, we got moved, figured out what my work schedule was like, and it was summertime. It was getting hot, and so I was like, I'm just gonna do this. So I went and I found a new hairdresser because of course we've moved to a different town, and found someone to cut my hair, and she did an amazing job, and I love the way it looked. And I'm so pleased with the results. So that's what this is. These photos are of me before I had gone in, because of course you're not allowed to go into the office until they're ready for you for the social distance reasons and all that. And so that's me sitting in the car waiting, and then me right after I got my hair cut. So that is what the photos are about. And I wanted to use that phone because I just felt like the saying worked with it, and it layered. Within the photos, there's a couple areas that when I took the photo, there's some junk in the background. And so I'm trying to cover it up. And so that worked perfectly. And then I'm just trying to find the layers to the colors I want to use. Now, here's a couple things that I do. When I find a piece of pattern paper that I really like both sides of it, and I don't want to forsake either side. So I always try to cut a border out of it first, because you can always use borders, and I tend to use them a ton. So I always cut a border first, and then I decide what side I want to use. And once I figure that out, I then slide it over to one side that's left over and use that. So now I also there's a beautiful like yellow floral on that side. So I have that yellow floral chunk to use in another layout. Plus I have either side of the border to use. So that is one way that I go ahead and do that. The other thing I try to do is you're going to see me go ahead and trim this again. I really wanted a pop of brighter pink to this kind of more mauve-y pink, as the banner that I cut out with the bird has a pop of that pink. So I want to bring that pink in. It's also in the phone, that brighter pop pink. I want to bring that in. So I'm going to do it that way with just a half border. I have plans for the swan paper. Not something I would normally use, but I love this swan paper. So I don't want to use too much of it, just enough for a nice little pop of the pink there. I also am sacrificing the backside of this pink paper, this mauve pink paper, and it is gorgeous florals that you can cut apart. Like I could just use the whole backside of that and fussy cut all the florals out of it. It's so pretty. And I don't want to do that because I like this pink. I like how it's blending in together. So what I'm going to do here is take my pencil and trace along the sides that I am using for the base paper you see there with the writing pattern paper. I'm not talking very clearly. I'm sorry. But my plan is to go ahead and use that and then grab some white, because what I'm thinking here is there's no white to this collection. It's all the cream colors to it. And I struggle with that. I like to have a crisp white color somewhere. And so I'm just simply going to add it. I'm going to add it into my layer of the border, the side border. I'm going to add it into the layer of my own photos. And I'm going to add it into the layer of the yellow pattern paper that my photo is lying on. And so there's a couple places that I have it there. I also, where I traced that long paper, script paper there, I'm going to go ahead and use some white embroidery thread because it's October and we're focusing on stitching. So it's super, super subtle. You don't necessarily see it unless you're really looking, but it's just how I'm adding white there instead of doing the pattern paper or the cardstock as a border around the script paper. Instead, I'm doing some stitching. And I'm doing that for two reasons. The first reason being that it's going to just look cool and give it a little bit of dimension to it. And the second part is that you're going to see when it's all done stitching, I want to save some of that pattern paper because, like I said, there's this gorgeous floral on the back that could be perfect for fussy cutting. And I want to go ahead and do that. And my only way to do that is to trim it. But how do I know I'm staying within the lines and not going to mess that up? So having that lovely stitch border kind of gives me the perfect little guidelines on where to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to save a few of the florals. It's not going to be a ton. I probably will end up using it more as a layering piece and another layout than I will as fussy cutting out those florals, but I still saved it. So that is a few things I do every once in a while when I only have one of a certain pattern paper and I like both sides of it. Those are kind of my little tricks. I don't normally share all of those, so I'm going to share them with you today. Finishing up this layout is pretty basic. I'm just going to go through all of the embellishments from the little collection embellishment pack that there is. I had florals and a couple little things. So like each photo is like connected with like a paper clip type thing. And I'm going to use the title #killing it because it's taken me, I think I had long hair for like probably 2.5 years. It was a long time. And my hair was so long, it was like pretty far down my back. And I don't normally let my hair get that long. So it had been a while and it was driving me crazy. And all I wanted to do was chop it off. And then, of course, everything was closed down and you couldn't even go get a haircut. I had planned to get a haircut in March, like a week before everything shut down. And I never went. So it was my own fault. And I had to wait like an extra 4 months. But it finally got done. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. And since then, I've kept it pretty short. I need to go get another haircut. And I've dyed it. I've made it kind of like a red color, expecting it to be red. I didn't expect it to be as red as it is. And it's almost like a purple red. It's really weird. But I think it suits my face, so it's all good. I also add a couple houses because this is in the midst of, COVID. And those sunglasses I add because they look exactly like the sunglasses I'm wearing. I just think that's so funny. So I'm going to use that as well. And I stitch around the side border so that there's some stitching in the black and it all ties in with everything. And that basically wraps it up. So I know that Jen will be joining me today. She's joining on Fridays. Of course, Moira and Crystal will be joining. Daisy and Jen K's mom is trying to join us every day as well. So anyone that has decided to join and has left links for me, they will all be below for you. And I think that's everything. I'm going to wrap it up with just a little bit of a sticker down at the bottom to kind of blend in with the rest of the sketch there. So a little off key to the sketch, but I think you can see it and I'm happy with my results. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. And I'll see you all tomorrow because we're on to day 9. It's crazy how fast this series goes. And let me know if you have any questions. And if you want to play along, I can leave you the link. Here's a look at my finished layout. Bye, everyone.